Well, friends of the world, Maldini. I know it's a little late in Spain, of course, but this Argentina 4, Brazil 1 just finished, and I am in Mexico. As you well know, I still have many more things to do for you in Mexico. Tomorrow, an interview that you will love with Javier Aguirre, the coach of the Mexican national team, who will analyze the entire Mexican team for us, player by player. I've done many more things. Tomorrow I'm going to Guadalajara, but I have time, by the way, to make this video about what it has been. This crushing, this humiliation bout of Argentina-Brazil. I think the result is short, honestly. I think the result is short. So it's not just that Argentina was much superior to Brazil, it's that they they thrashed the Brazilian team with tremendous authority. This Brazilian team, it's true, lacks a lot of football in the midfield. That's a reality, but that alone can't justify or serve as an excuse for Brazil being crushed today in Buenos Aires by Argentina. A great Argentine team that today is mathematically already qualified for the World Cup. Obviously, Brazil will also be there, but Argentina's qualification is now mathematical. Argentina 1-0-1 at Maracanã. It was the first time Brazil lost a match at home in the history of the South American World Cup qualifiers. And today is the first time Brazil has conceded 4 goals in the entire history of the South American World Cup qualifiers. Argentina is making history. This Scaloni team continues to make history, and today literally crushed Brazil. As we are going to analyze a lot of things, for example, let's look at the starting 11. Here you have them already. Argentina starting 11, Martinez in goal with Molina Romero, also from Italy. Almada on the left with McAllister, Paredes, Enzo Fernandez, and De Paul and Julian Alvarez. There is an important detail, and that is, as you can see, the midfield of the Argentine team has been significantly reinforced. Then Gio Simeone came in, Julian. He didn't come to score a great goal, by the way. But the fact that Leo Messi isn't there. Watch out, Argentina scored 4 against Brazil without Leo Messi, which is something we need to analyze in depth. It has made Argentina reinforce the midfield even more, and they have literally devoured Brazil. They applied a high, very good pressure. They were hungry. The Argentine team, logically, saw the possibility of achieving a historic thrashing. They came close to an astronomical thrashing. It wasn't quite that, but in the end, it's a very important victory for the Argentine team. Brazil, with Bento, Wesley, Marquinhos, Murillo, and Arana in defense, with Andre and Joelinton in the double pivot. Raphinha on the right, Rodrigo on the left, and up front, Vinicius and Mateus Cunha. Those of us who have seen, and you have seen many matches of the Brazilian team from other eras, Andre and Joelinton are good players. I'm not saying they're not. I like Joelinton, but in that double pivot so far back, it's not how he plays at Newcastle. It's true that Brazil has very good forwards, or at least players to play behind the striker, Vinicius. Rodrigo, Raphinha. We'll see what happens with Neymar in the immediate future, but this Brazilian team lacks football in the midfield. It lacks a lot of football in the midfield. And also, today, Argentina, with a lot of intelligence, Scaloni has further reinforced the midfield and has crushed Brazil. It was a tremendous superiority, quite a few characters in the match. Let's see if I have time tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to Guadalajara because I have Chicharito in the morning and I think I won't have time to take notes. But I will try to take notes for all of you as well because I think this match deserves it. I really liked it a lot. Enzo Fernandez, you know that I am a great admirer of Enzo Fernandez. I have said it many times when he was at Benfica. Now at Chelsea he is a player for quite a few different midfield positions, and in all of them he can be dangerous. He played an outstanding match. The drive of the play for his goal, which ultimately ends with a cross from Molina from the right to score effortlessly. The goal he scored, the assist he provided as well. Spectacular assist for one of Argentina's goals, which was McAllister's goal. It was a pass from pure Enzo Fernandez, who is a footballer that can play as a pivot, as an interior behind the striker, which is how he played the other day in that match against Colombia. Today he also played a little more advanced for Argentina's pressing, which has been a team that played at a much higher level than it did against Uruguay. Against Uruguay, it was a team that practically had no pressing. High, except for stretches of the second half. Today, from the beginning, they started pressing. It's thundering here in Mexico City. The thunder will also sound in Argentina, but out of joy, and in Brazil, because the humiliation is tremendous for the Brazilian team. But as I was saying, Enzo Fernandez playing in the midfield, reaching much more into the 3/4 of the field, and he had a tremendous match. I absolutely loved Julian Alvarez. There are many better forwards in the world right now than Julian Alvarez. How many could there be? We can count them on the fingers of one hand if we even can. Is Julian Alvarez among the top 5 forwards in the world right now? Top 9 in the world? In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, yes, I was watching him with Atletico de Madrid and with the Argentine national team. The other day in Uruguay, he played an outstanding match, and he also had a great game. The first goal, that control, and then how he finishes. And then the ability to move constantly. Argentina played a tactically almost perfect match. Because then, in addition, Enzo and Julian sometimes played a little further back to reinforce more. Still, that midfield area and Brazil, which lacked players in that zone, was completely overwhelmed. They weren't able to hold on to the ball. Brazil in a layer of combining. Brazil pressured Argentina, but it didn't cost a lot of damage. Commenting on the match here with some friends, Peruvian friends who are watching the game because they have suffered a lot. With Peru's defeat against Venezuela, I was commenting, I remember the under-20 match we watched recently, the 6-0 of Argentina-Brazil at the start of the under-20 from that South American tournament that was played recently in Venezuela. And honestly, at the beginning of the match, around the 20th or 25th minute, you could foresee something similar. It's true that it's Romeo. He gave away a goal, that goal scored by Matheus Cunha. From there, Brazil at least started to slightly improve the scoreline. But the feeling is that Argentina has been tremendously superior in every aspect. I'm really impressed with Tagliafico in the last few matches. He's at a great level. I'm loving Almada. Watch out for Almada's level. In the Argentine national team, we'll see who will step aside when logically Leo Messi comes in. We'll see who steps aside. Surely Almada could be one of the weaker or more likely pieces to step aside, but watch out. Paredes is doing very well. De Paul is indispensable. Enzo Fernandez, of course. Julian Alvarez. Let's not even talk about it. The coach has a tough decision when he returns from injury, and we must consider the absences they had. Argentina, moreover, had tremendous absences. Brazil, an absolute disaster. A clear thrashing, Vinicius. Practically didn't even show up. Raphinha practically didn't show up either. A free kick, very late. The central defenders, horrible. A team practically transparent in defense without the ability to hold the ball in midfield. Have they hit rock bottom? Brazil, sure. In the matches against Argentina, they have hit rock bottom. Brazil, it's difficult to see a Brazilian team more overwhelmed and with such a complete inability to almost compete against a team as superior as Argentina has been. And then Giuliano Simeone came in as if the celebration wasn't big enough. Giuliano Simeone scored his first goal, and what a goal, with the Argentine national team. He was already a starter the other day in that match. In Uruguay, he had already played a few minutes in a previous match, but today he has definitively established himself with the national team. He's doing it at Atletico de Madrid. And today he shines with the national team on the right wing. In the second half, the goal he scores is absolutely spectacular. Everything is going right for Argentina. Argentina is in the World Cup. They are the current world champions. And we'll see who is capable of defeating this great Argentine team, which will also have Messi. Let's not forget very soon, of course, a hug.